Hey, what's up, everybody? I am Maxwell Faulkner, and welcome into Are You Kidding Me? Here on a Real Falking Sports Podcast. Are you kidding me, Coco Gauff? I mean, come on now, really? You know, let's hold on a second. Before I lead off this segment, I have to say that I have no problem with Coco Gauff, okay? Okay? I have no problem with her, so don't come at me yet, all right? Usually during my Are You Kidding Me segments, I'm annoyed, which I still am from this instance, okay? Don't get me wrong on that. But I'm also angered, which, surprisingly, I'm not angered on this topic. Since I'm just annoyed and not angered compared to both of them, I decided to take it easy on Coco Gauff and just read the facts to hopefully put some common sense not only in her, but anyone else who is on her side by saying it is hard to be a black woman in the United States. In case we missed it or we aren't paying attention to tennis kicking off, the Australian Open has started, and a liberal reporter named Owen Lewis from The Athletic asked United States players how they feel the United States is doing under the Trump administration's second term. Now, most players refuse to answer, but let's hear what Coco Gauff decided to say.
Hi, Coco. Congrats. This is a bit of a heavier question to start, but you're usually pretty outspoken about political issues, and I'm curious how you feel about the state of the U.S. 1 year into the second Trump administration.
I mean, I think I've already stated my opinions in the past on how I feel about it. And yeah, I mean, I've hoped forward that we can have a lot more peace in our country and more kindness when the way we speak to each other about different topics and things like that. But yeah, obviously I've been pretty vocal about how I felt, and yeah, I don't feel at this point I feel a bit fatigued talking about it just because of the fact that it is hard also, I think, being a black woman in this country and having to experience things even online and seeing your marginalized communities being affected and knowing that I can only really donate and speak out, and I try my best to do that. But yeah, I just hope that as time continues that we can reach a state where we're not currently in and we keep moving forward. I posted that video of Martin Luther King yesterday, and that was kind of saying that we must keep moving forward even though things may not be as calm as I would like it to be right now.
Now, before I get started, I just want to say I honestly feel bad for Coco Gauff. Not because she's a black woman who claims to be a victim, all right? Which I'll get detailed on that in a minute, how that's an excuse and complete bullshit. But let's hold off for a second. I feel bad for her because she has been taught and indoctrinated into believing that because she is a 21-year-old black woman in 2026, it is just as hard to be a black person as it was back in the 1800s or 1960s during the civil rights movement. She honestly believes that because of the color of her skin, she will be looked down upon and that opportunities will not be open for her. She is so naive of her own accomplishments and even what her own family has accomplished as, yes, black people. Which, first, I'm sure everyone knows already from a quick Google search, but Coco Gauff, you are worth $35 million at 21 years old. That is an incredible accomplishment that most people in the world will never be able to achieve. Most people in the world will never be millionaires or even strive to get to that point. You did it at 21 years old. There is nothing to be ashamed of, nor is there anyone to blame, because you are showing the world, as, well, you like to say, that as a black woman, I can be elite at whatever God-given talent the Lord has given me, and no one can stop me. You claim that it is hard to be a black woman in the United States, and yet you have won 2 major singles titles and earned, once again, $35 million at the age of 21 in America. Now here comes the liberals. Here they come. She must have had a hard upbringing. You have no idea what she went through to get to where she is today. Okay. Settle down. All right. I did some research on that, unlike all of you yelling the stereotype that she had a hard childhood because she is black. So here are the facts. Her parents, who have been married for 20 years and are still married today, which is huge, and no one seems to take this as a serious reason as to how any child can be pushed to elite status with both parents in the home. But quickly moving on from that, I don't want to dwell on it. Coco's parents were both college athletes. Her dad played basketball at Georgia State University, and her mom was a standout track and field athlete at Florida State University. Both parents not only had incredible athletic backgrounds, but both had the privilege of playing at a Division I university. Second, it's not like Coco Gauff's parents played sports in college and that was it. They were clearly educated and very successful in their careers. Coco's mom became a modest educator in Atlanta, while her dad became the executive vice president of sales, marketing, and clinical account management at Remedy Senior Care Pharmacy. He also worked at other healthcare companies such as Apria Healthcare, where he was president of sales, Abbott Laboratories, where he was in sales for 12 years, and Wyeth Consumer Healthcare, which is now part of Pfizer, where he held a management position. Now, Coco's dad did say that they stopped their careers in order for Coco to pursue hers, which is modest and beautiful that both parents believed Coco could be the next big thing in women's tennis. The fact that she had support at such a young age is major for anyone being able to accomplish what God has put them on earth to do. But her dad made it sound like they were poor by making that decision and refused to say how much money he had made at his previous jobs. You won't find his net worth anywhere online either, but hey, don't worry. I looked up what a president of sales can make at a healthcare company. Let's just talk about Coco's dad's latest job at Remedy Senior Care Pharmacy. On average, he would make between $250,000 to over $400,000 per year with additional bonuses and compensation packages. Coco Gauff and her fans, does that sound like a hard upbringing regardless the color of your skin? Now, Coco did say that it's hard to be a black woman, especially online. Coco Gauff, that's literally anyone who posts anything online. And since you are young, famous, talented, and part of the entertainment business, you are an easy target because you were flaunted all around the media because of your success. The best thing you can do in these situations is to not read the comments and move on. This is for any athlete in any sport. You have to push away the naysayers and just focus on your game. I understand that you want to respond to your fans, and sometimes in the process you read nasty comments. I get it. But staying away from social media in general is the best way to stay focused on your game. There will always be haters, Coco Gauff, especially in sports. Stay away from these lonely, untalented, low-life individuals who have nothing and do whatever they can to try and disrupt your game so they can feel something deep inside. Now, since the question was, how do you feel the United States is doing after 1 year of Trump being in office for a second term, your best answer should have been the same as every other American tennis player who was asked the same question by, once again, this lonely liberal who needs clicks and likes to make himself feel heard, right? And that is, I don't want to talk about that. Yeah, I'm not interested in talking about politics. I want to stay focused on my game. I don't have time to talk about politics. Or even what you said originally. I'm exhausted talking about it. I really don't want to. Instead, you decided to go in the path of, I'm a $35 million victim because I am a black woman. And all people who aren't white are just like me because they are victims too. Coco Gauff, you are not a victim. You are clearly privileged. Your parents gave you a path to greatness, and now you are arguably one of the best tennis players in the world because of it. You do have the opportunity to use your voice to express how grateful you are to live in a country where a 21-year-old woman, not a black woman, but rather just a woman, was able to compete at the highest level through proper training, hard work ethic, and a desire to improve in your passion. But instead, you said you and your community are victims. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I feel bad for her. I feel bad for Coco. Coco Gauff is worth $35 million and doesn't see that because of the country she lives in, that's what's allowed her to make so much money. She also doesn't notice that her parents were privileged and gave up their careers in order for their daughter to succeed. Coco Gauff, I'm not saying you should say you're a privileged black woman, even though you are. I'm saying, why not show some gratitude for your family and the country that allowed you to be so successful in the first place? This is your time to stand up for not just black people, but all people in the United States of America and state that you are proud of your country and grateful to have the opportunity to represent the greatest country in the world. If you honestly don't believe that, then why would you mooch off of it and play for it? Coco Gauff, you're 21 years old and clearly have a liberal view on how the world works, which is fine, but that doesn't mean you lived a hard life in the past or are currently living one right now. Once again, your parents stayed together, earned their living, paid for you to be successful, and in doing so, you are now worth $35 million. You play on the highest stage and are considered one of the best women's tennis players in the world. That's the start of the American dream, girl. If you were to come out and state how proud you are of your country and grateful to represent it, people all over America would flock to your fan base. Playing for America is not black, white, Hispanic, Asian, etc. It's American. And we, as true, proud Americans, want to see our people succeed on the highest stage, no matter the color of their skin. Stop the victimhood mentality and show how strong you are as an American. True Americans don't complain about their country. They gloat about it. America is the greatest country in the world. And Coco Gauff, being that you are just 21 years old who made $35 million to hit a ball with a racket while competing on the highest stage, is a perfect example of why we should be proud to be Americans.